and I'm just going to get right into this message. So I know some of us in the spiritual community, we've heard about, we've seen some downfall of some false prophets, false prophetess, um, even to the point of these people being imprisoned, exposed, um, losing their minds, killing their families, taking their own lives. Spiritual psychosis. But not only them being spiritually in this spiritual delusional energy, psychotic, but also influencing the energy of others, manipulating and modifying the energy of others, of those who follow them. So kind of that concept of leading people to hell, collecting blood on your hands by improperly leading people, guiding people, misleading people, and collecting that karma. What I've been hearing all week, is when we hear the phrase, the mind is the devil's playground. Let's reword that. The mind, oftentimes, is a place where the devil plays. And when we think about energy, spirituality, something that I've always said, that when people say, oh, I'm spiritual, you can't just go off that alone, because spiritual in itself is just a vessel that hosts a spirit or spirits, meaning that can be of God, the divine, or it can be of malevolent forces. It can be of demonic forces. A vessel can house demonic entities, legions of demons, cursed energy, hexed energy, whatever the case may be, entity attachments, or simply evil spirits possessed by evil ancestors. So technically the person's still spiritual, but that doesn't mean they are of the light. That does not mean they are of a benevolent source. So, but what I've been hearing all week about the mind being a place of paradise to demonic energies, to the devil, so to speak. What does that look like? What does that sound like? What does that feel like? When we struggle with self-doubt, low self-esteem, insecurities, hopelessness, feeling helpless, speaking down on ourselves, disbelief in whatever it is that we want to manifest for ourselves, jealousy, envy, coveting other people's things, or temptation, things that go against our higher self that we hear within our minds when we're vulnerable. Hearing things like you should give up, or accepting things or urges to accept that your life is going to go a particular way that is not in your favor, or this is how something is going to be, this is how something is going to remain, woe is me, or I can't do this, or I won't be able to do that, or all these things that negate possibility that negate you being more than a conqueror, you being an overcomer, you being victorious. All of these things that negate things that God desires for you, that the Most High desires for you. All these things that negate the very alchemy of your existence. The energetic signature of the Most High. All of these things. Suicidal ideation. What is a playground? Playground is a place where there's different kinds of contractions and, obstacle course and these mechanical things that provide fun. It's a gathering place where people come to play and enjoy themselves, play around. So when we think about people who are used by demonic forces and demonic entities, malevolent spirits, vengeful spirits, when we think about this and what does that look like when we often hear the phrase, the mind is the devil's playground. Let's say devils, D-E-V-I-L-S, opposed to D-E-V-I-L''S. What does that look like? That looks like people playing in your energy, being deceptive, misleading you, misguiding you, hexing your energy, cursing your energy, ill wishing, evil eyeing, projecting ill thoughts, projecting feelings of defeat, feelings of worthlessness, giving up, hopelessness, helplessness. Nobody will love you. Nobody will want you. You being ugly, you're unattractive. All of these things, these horrible things that some people may word and say we tell ourselves, but is it really us? It's never really us. I guarantee you, it is not really us telling ourselves that. But it is malevolent forces trying to attach itself to you, trying to project into your realm, into your energetic field, into your crown. How does it feel to be royal? How does it feel to be loved by God? To be cherished by God? How does it feel to have a brilliant mind, an open mind, a hopeful mind, a loving mind, a loving spirit, a loving vessel, a cherished vehicle, vessel, church? Your body is a church. Your body is a temple. How does it feel to bask in a glorious temple? Soft, gentle, safe, comforting, secure, stable temple. How does it feel to inhabit that space? To have the opportunity to experience the wonders of the divine, the Most High, to have the opportunity to create wonders of the divine. How does it feel? How to obtain, how to steal, kill, and destroy. Something powerful is going on. Intensely spiritual. Transformative. Praise and worship. Now these are just things that I'm channeling from this message, and I feel an emotional energy. Hallelujah is what I wanted to say after delivering that message. This is a Hebrew expression. And it means to praise the Lord. Praise Jah. Praise Yah. Yahweh. A joyous praise. To boast in God. It is used as an expression of gratitude. A desire to affirm my faith in life with enthusiasm and with emotion. To praise joyously, an expression of great happiness, praise, and thanks. So I saw 909. Idolatry came back up. I shared a video that I'd done a few years ago on idolatry in the spiritual community, how people have managed to recognize this in Christianity or in the church, but the Most High said there would be many false prophets. So that doesn't mean that the false prophets are just limited to the church. False prophets can be anywhere, in any arena. Just because you call yourself being spiritual and supposedly experiencing some type of church hurt, or some people who were lacking in full understanding of the expression of God, people who were possibly misled by how they were led and guided, just because you've managed to, quote unquote, free yourself, because are you really free? Are you really free just to move from one arena where maybe there was a false prophet present into a whole nother environment, energetically speaking? So a lot of people flock to social media for spiritual guides, right? Does that mean you will be spared from coming into contact with a false prophet or prophetess? It does not. If anything, because you tapped into understanding how to recognize some characteristics, some character traits, some whatever the case may be, if anything, you're most certainly going to come across, experience more false prophets in other arenas of your life. It's easy to identify these people in the church, right? At least for some people, it becomes easy. But your edification does not stop there. It does not end there. Your discernment, the whole concept of needing to be sharpened, I said in one of my other videos, temptation is not only subjected to sexual energy. to be tempted. You can be tempted by riches. You can be tempted by beauty. You can be tempted by the finer things. You can be tempted by influence, the influence that people have gained. You can be tempted by personality. You can be tempted by what seems like potential benefits. You can be tempted by luxury. You can even be tempted by freedom. A false freedom. But to understand and know, if the Most High told us straight up that the devil masquerades himself as light, masquerades himself as divine energy. If we understand that Satan, that the devil literally wants to replace God, the Most High. He wants to be the divine. He's jealous of the divine. He has a point to prove. Think about how far people, right? Because if you don't always necessarily see the devil front and center, like what the fuck he look like, his features, like he just pop up, boom, in your face. It don't always happen like that. So how does it happen? How does it happen? Just like when the Most High had Yeshua present amongst us, right? And he was performing these miracles and guiding people and drawing people to, or his mission to draw people closer to God. What does it look like when you are in the presence of an angel? What does it look like when you are in the presence of a demon? What does that look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? They said Lucifer, Satan, the devil, used to be an angel. They say he was very musically inclined. And you know when you are hearing the voice of an angelic being, or when someone's voice comes from an angelic source, a divine angelic source. Let's be very clear. When we say angelic, let's be very clear. That feeling that encompasses your soul, that you feel those chills, opposed to something just sounding good and it just sound good. How does that sound make you feel? With that being said, wouldn't you need a very powerful, clear, concise, enhanced discernment, awareness, intuition? These things are so crucial to your growth, your development, your safety, not only of yourself, but of your loved ones, of your legacy, of your legacy. It's crucial. He wants it all. Let go of your idols. It's one thing to acknowledge someone acknowledge another being as your brother, as your sister, as your family, your soul family, someone who's a role model, someone who provides guidance, and you recognize and you acknowledge and you appreciate this about them, that they allow their light to shine, they allow God to speak through them, and you can feel that and you resonate with that. That you understand that in some aspects of your life you will be a follower, or not even a follower, but yes, a follower or a student. And in other areas you will be a leader, a teacher. And how literally at any moment you can jump from either side, depending on how God chooses to use you, or what needs, or if God is edifying you, sharpening you. And in a lot of cases, when you're on that path, even if you feel like you don't know enough, you don't know a whole lot, more than likely, you know more than someone else whom you will cross paths with, whom you will encounter. And even though there's more for you to learn, and you can recognize this about yourself, there's more growth, there's more development, there's more edification that you desire, that you know that you need. There's more elevation, there's more ascension. As long as there's more, God is going to always be more of that, okay? As long as the Most High is expansive and infinite as He is, there's always going to be more ascension that you can gain. There's always going to be more progress that you can make. There's always going to be more development that you can obtain. Always. So again, it's okay to recognize, acknowledge, and appreciate things that are connected to God, things that are helpful in your journey. To utilize these things to pull yourself closer to the Most High. And for those whom you influence, pull them closer to the Most High. Absolutely. But to idolize these things is a totally different story. That's something else. When you accredit too much power to certain people or certain things and tools, places, that becomes idolatry. But if you can always make that connection to source, and even in regards to power distribution, it doesn't matter how much someone may seem like they have so much wisdom and knowledge, even if they're speaking on God, you better go to God yourself. You have to develop a strong connection with the Most High yourself, with the divine yourself. Withstanding the wiles of the devil, the wiles, the fact that God is a revealer of mysteries, the fact that there are mysteries present among us in the first place. There are things that need to be decoded. The fact that there's a such thing as truth and lies, truth and deception. And God told you there will be many, not few, not a little bit. There will be many false prophets. What is a prophet? So before we get to that, $909, that was an angel number that popped up in this read. It says things are moving fast and hot right now, or they will be soon. So does it feel like time is speeding up? And in the caption, I put history repeating itself. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but there's this redoing of these religious groups or standpoints or perspectives or whatever. It's like there's an energy trying to relaunch discord amongst these groups. You know, at one point it settled. There was a settlement, right? The settlement was, even though people may have in their cultures or their cultural practices different rituals, different ways of doing things, okay? Ultimately, what is the sole purpose of them doing these things? To praise the Most High, to worship the Most High, to honor and follow the Most High. But there's cultural differences, different upbringings, different ways of doing things, different ways of speaking, different ways of seeing things. There's a reason why this world is cultivated of people of different nationalities and ethnicities and cultures, languages. There's a reason for these diversities. There's a reason. What God put together, let no man put asunder. So man hosts vehicles of spirits, of energy, present in every platform, every arena, every avenue, every environment all over this world. There are many false prophets. A false prophet could be somebody in the hospital that has no care for anybody besides them fucking selves. They don't care about your life. They don't care about your well-being. They care about the money they can make. They care about their own loved ones. They don't care about you being healthy. They care about the power that they hold. They are willing to deceive you to make more money. They are willing to deceive you to gain kingdoms. They are willing to deceive you to level up. That's a false prophet. Telling you things, causing you to believe what they say to you, to get you to modify something about your life, your attitude, your behavior, your beliefs. That is a false prophet. A false prophet can be a motherfucking therapist. Somebody who proclaims themselves to be a therapist, a counselor, a life coach, a tarot reader, a pastor, an evangelist, a nurse, a practitioner, a loved one, a mother, a guardian, a friend, a teacher, a police officer. And this is making me emotional because it's really sad. It's really sad But we really have to understand, overstand, understand. We really have to know this. This is a reality. Let no man put asunder. If he has to say these things, that means man will try to put asunder what God has joined together. If he says that Satan is here to steal, kill, and destroy, that means that is a reality. If he says that the devil masquerades himself as light, that is a reality. Princes have a level of authority. Influence. The ability to modify perceptions, actions, behaviors, activities. So the symbology of the devil being the prince of this world. Mm, 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 mm. This world, not this galaxy. Mm. 909 means this is a time in your life when you may need to take risk or make choices quickly. There's an energy of impulsivity. And just because this number is being presented as an angel number, we already know there are fallen angels and there are divine angels. We already know that anything benevolent, there is a malevolent opposite. There is a malevolent energy to anything benevolent. Anything of benevolence, there is a malevolence to that energy. Which means all risk are not bad. They're not of malevolent source. But of course, some risk, many risk are. That means during this time, there are people taking malevolent, impulsive risk and choices. Just as others are doing so from a benevolent source, from intuitive instinct. Your downloads coming in like that. Your intuition being heightened, increased, enhanced. Why? Because it's needed. It's needed. It's crucial. There's a lot going on. This warfare has intensified. That's why you need your intuition to be enhanced. This is a time, well, when it will be so helpful for you, it will be very diligent for you to be sober-minded as much as possible. There's energy such as fasting, very present at this time, fasting, being sober-minded, protecting yourself, trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition, your discernment, your awareness, and not second-guessing it. When we think about the journey of Yeshua, he was rare. Apostle Paul was rare. Joseph was rare. David, Solomon, these people that were mentioned, they were rare within their own right. Within their environment, they were considered rare, but of God. It's the reason why these people were highlighted. Within the same respect, the Orishas, and other individuals whom we've heard about or who's been very prevalent. And just because, and I keep in mind, there were also people mentioned and highlighted that were extremely malevolent. If you pay attention to the details, they say the devil is in the details. If you pay attention to the details, if you pay attention to the details of these people placed front and center, even those not placed front and center, if you pay attention to the details of those around us, of those who are benevolent, those who are malevolent, you will see God in the details. You will see the devil in the details if you just simply pay attention. Fasting not only cleanses and heals your body on a molecular level, on a physical level, but why is it so transformative? Why is it so powerful? Why is it truly healing? If fasting helps you hone in on things and focus in on things and be freed from distractions, what else is that healing contributed to besides just your physical, your flesh, your molecular level, your body? And we already know that the Most High is beyond your flesh. So what else does that healing contribute to? When we talk about codependency, it's just the details, y'all. The way that the Most High has created life, this world. There's a light, there's a dark, there's a night, there's a day, there's a moon, there's a sun, there's a yin, there's a yang. There's a top, there's a bottom, there's a left, there's a right, there's a east, there's a west, there's a north, there's a south to all things. When we talk about things such as overindulgence, when we talk about codependency, people are quick to write that off as completely something that is, low vibrational. But just as there's a low vibration, there's a high vibration. I tell people I'm codependent on the Most High. I'm completely dependent on the Most High. I overindulge in the Most High. I overindulge in divinity. The Most High is my dwelling place. I live, breathe, consume, disperse, distribute the Most High. The number 9 is related to the topics of travel, risk, learning, and truth. Give me one moment. It says, there are 114 chakras in the human body. These are split into 7 major chakras, 21 minor chakras, and 86 micro chakras. For the most part, the 114 chakras are both structural and functional and are generally linked with the organs, glands, hormones, brain areas, and neurons. Among the 114 chakras, 112 are believed to reside within the body, while the other 2 are outside the body. The 112 chakras in the body arrange themselves into 7 dimensions, with 16 aspects in each dimension. These 7 dimensions, known as the 7 chakras, also form the basis for 7 schools of yoga. Minor chakras can be found in both ears, above each breast, at the intersection of the clavicle, on each palm of your hand, on each sole of your feet, above each eye, in your reproductive organs, in your liver, your stomach, your spleen, behind each knee, in your thymus gland, and near your solar plexus chakra. So we have the Earth Star Chakra. This is just the 12, broken up in 12, which is your connection to the Earth. Your Root Chakra, which is for stability. Your Sacral Chakra, creativity and sexuality. Your Solar Plexus, personal power and identity. Your Heart Chakra, emotion and love. Your Throat Chakra, self-expression. Your Third Eye Chakra, intuition. Your Crown Chakra, divinity. Your Soul Star Chakra, higher consciousness. Your Universal Chakra, universal flow of energy. Your Galactic Chakra, prophecy. Your Divine Gateway Chakra, spiritual enlightenment. Now, for prophecy and spiritual enlightenment to be that high above, meaning you will have to be in an energy of divinity. In your crown chakra, in your head space, your mind, you will have to be in an energy of divinity in order to gain access into a higher consciousness, thus gaining universal flow of energy to even obtain or be in the energy, the spirit, the gift of prophecy and spiritual enlightenment. Spiritual enlightenment, prophecy, and higher consciousness gets thrown, it just gets thrown all over the place. Like, everybody got it. Everybody's there. These conversations that's been coming up, I'm not sure if we're still in Mercury retrograde, but possibly. These conversations that's been coming up with some of my peers and just in general, these things that's been coming up, or with my spirit guides. I'm not saying shrooms don't work for some people. I remember I ain't lose shit, but I disconnected with 2 people for the simple fact that we had a conversation about shrooms and they were telling me about their experience. And even though I said absolutely you can gain those things through shrooms, however, shrooms is not the only pathway to higher consciousness, to spiritual enlightenment. And in my argument, I said, now this was 2 separate conversations within the same week. I don't know if these people knew each other or not. But something that I said to them, because I met these people via social media, I said, didn't you add me as a friend? To the both of them. You guys added me. Why? Because of the content I was sharing. Because of the consciousness, the information, the wisdom, the knowledge that I was sharing. And I've never taken a shroom a day in my life by that time when I had these conversations with them. Never taken a shroom. One of these people even came to me after their trip and told me how it was revealed to them that I was an ancient ancestor. Still didn't stop them from, disconnecting from me for whatever reason. But the point is, are these things placed by God? Can you experience some assistance in your spiritual journey, in your path from, these other things or divination tools and guides and others? Absolutely. Because the Most High's energy is going to be present in a lot of things amongst us. Besides people. Absolutely. However, do not idolize those things. There are people who put too much faith and confidence and codependency and reliance in things, substances, activities, people, for their comfort, for their security, for their stability, for their peace of mind, for the calming of their nerves and whatever anxiety inducing stressors and experiences. Too many people just put way too much into those things and don't realize that they're putting it more above the Most High. They can easily create a blockage or put you in a vulnerable state of being manipulated by demonic forces, being influenced by demonic malevolent energy, by adverse energy, wayward paths. You can easily be accessible or be more easily accessible when doing so. And what's crazy, I felt led to say, not the first time I said it, I'm not the first one to say it. I felt led to say last night amongst some people I know that because people idolize marijuana real bad. Real bad. They'll defend it with their life. They'll cut you off if you take a stance against it. They will cut you off. They will curse you out. They will roast you. They'll do you dirty just over that topic. They're so defensive. They're willing to defend it. Like, I'm telling you, like, over a connection with a person who's truly genuine, a person that's truly of the light. They will choose that marijuana over that connection. A divinely orchestrated, a divinely guided, something that God joined together. They will choose substances. They will choose to defend substances. Money. Clout. Attention. Popularity. Success. Luxury. All these things people will choose over divinity. But I felt led to say, if you don't know how to properly defend yourself, protect yourself spiritually, as it pertains to spiritual warfare, emotional warfare, mental warfare, if you don't know how to properly protect yourself, defend yourself, you have no business smoking marijuana. You have no business consuming any substances. What you need to be is sober-minded. Sober-spirited, sober-minded, sober-willed, WILLED. But I'm just one that it really bothers me. It bothers me to hear how people boast about weed, bro. It bothers me and it turns me off because, of course, I've smoked weed in my life a few times, and I've always been an advocate of balance. I've always been an advocate of fasting from weed if you're going to participate in it. And not only am I an advocate, I'm a fucking example. I do it. And I've always told people from being on both sides of it, I prefer my sober self. I prefer my sober self above all. But some people truly hate being sober. If you hate being sober, if you hate being sober-minded, whew, listen, be mindful of the grounds you're treading upon. Because sober-mindedness is associated with the Most High. So if you got a problem with being sober-minded, you don't have no desire towards it, you don't understand the appreciation of it, the necessity of it, you're not able to boast in it just as much as you're able to boast in being intoxicated, and being drunken-spirited, drunken-minded, which not only pertains to alcohol. If you identify any resistance within yourself, your mind, body, soul, your energy, if you observe and can identify and be aware of yourself as it pertains to resistance against anything pertaining to being sober or sober-minded, I advise you to love yourself enough and to love God enough so that you can love yourself enough to recognize that and do what is required of you. Study thyself so you can be approved unto God. Study thyself. Study thy temptations. Study thy desires. Study thy addictions. Study your codependencies. Study your idolatries. Study yourself. What influences you? Study what may be a stronghold on your spirit. Study yourself. And do what is required of you so you can pass these tests. You can pass these exams. You can pass these finals. You can succeed to the next level. You can actually ascend and live out and experience all of your chakras. Higher levels, the chakras that are on higher levels outside of your flesh. It's a reason why they constantly bombard us with just a certain amount of chakras, or just the chakras that run through your body. There's a reason. And even though they are energy centers, there's also a reason why there's a whole nother level that's above your body, that's above your crown. Okay? So imagine people out here proclaiming themselves to be spiritual and spiritual enlightened, and prophets and prophetesses. But then we can clearly see that they're living out of their root chakra. They're living out of a distorted aspect of some chakra that's within their body. The sacral. Which one is it in? Is my chakra cards in this deck? No, it's in the heart. So I'm gonna pull some cards, and this reading is gonna be I don't know if I should do a part 2 or just keep this one going, and you guys can just watch some of it, come back later, watch the rest. And you know what? I may just keep it in this one video, because there's people who would sit and watch hours of somebody playing a damn video game. There's people who would binge watch hours of reality TV shows, or quote unquote, because it's not reality TV shows. I mean, it is reality. It's a form of a reality. But manifesting imbalance. There are many false prophets, prophetesses, manifesting imbalances and awaiting the results. Been doing it so long, so often, that they literally trust and believe that they can control the minds of others. They can control the destiny of others, thus controlling their own success, and that they will be successful. Toying on people's darkest fears in order to control their minds. Weakening bonds, keeping you stuck and unhealed. Keeping you bounded and blocked in your root chakra. Spirit says, listen, take the lead. Take the lead of your own life. Spirit is saying, listen, because you can't even hear these people projecting into your subconscious. Listen. It's in the details. Listen. Don't second guess your intuition, your discernment. Really listen to these people. When you're listening to these people, really listen with your spiritual ears. We got chakras in our ears. Listen. Be careful with these AirPods. Cancerous growths, blockages, radiation. Sometimes, depending on the voltage, when you bring two electrical things together, it can create a blowout. You are an electrical being. Why are people, there's such thing as people being shot by lightning? Why is there such thing as the electric chair? Why is there such thing as sound frequency healing? Why does hurt matter? Why does it matter? Why is peace so crucial? To silence the mind, to sit in silence. Why is meditation so crucial? So you can listen. So you can discern properly, accurately. So the cards that came out, we got manifest. Number 1, manifest. It's a reason why that card is number 1 in this deck, or why it's considered a 1 in this deck. The next card to come out, find balance, in the reverse. Number 2, you have people, or these false prophets, their number 1 priority is to throw you off balance. It's to throw others off balance. It's to create imbalance. Imagine a path, a stairway, so to speak, being imbalanced. And if it's imbalanced, there's a possibility that you can go off path. Literally. When you are imbalanced, there's a possibility that you can fall, that you can descend, that you can go off path away from the divine, that you can go off your purpose, your path. Because if you're not going up, where are you going? The next card, just breathe. What's so important about this card, though? It's the number 4. And it's just breathe card. There's a human person here. And then there's a spirit person here. And they're touching hands, or they have their hands very close. But there's an exchange of energy. All air ain't good air. And what is air? What is that element associated with? Communication. Thoughts. What's another thing about air? You can't really get away from it now, can you? Unless you are submerged in water. Emotions. What someone's trying to create for you, or what you're possibly creating for yourself. or sex. Imagine being submerged in sexual energy and whatever is being created for you, what you're creating, or your emotions, so much so that you can't even properly discern the thoughts and the communication that you're engaging in, that's coming through, that's being projected. That's being downloaded. Telepathically transported. Communication and thoughts. And I'm saying like whether that be from malevolent forces or benevolent source. When people swim in water, they have a balance. If you're scuba diving, you make sure you go down there with some oxygen tanks. Yes? With your mask, with your scuba gear? Absolutely. When you're swimming in the water, where sometimes as you're swimming, your head goes in the water, comes out the water, breathe. In the water, out the water, breathe. Okay? You go down for a little while, but you come back up for air. Balance. Or else you drown. And what's in the water sometimes? Predators. Predators are in the water. And what are predators capable of doing? Killing, stealing, and destroying. What are they capable of doing? Grabbing you by your foot, by your leg, by your hand, and dragging you deeper into the water until you drown, or consuming you. When I first got into tarot, I made a video about this, you know. Karmic readers harvesting off the sacral chakra. Because what else does water do? It waters seeds. It causes things to grow, to blossom, to thrive, to survive. What's another aspect of water? Water can be easily polluted. Easily. And water is the base of most things. Most liquids and drinks that you have. Most products, liquidy products that you use. Water is the base. Water is fundamental. Fund or fun. Fund a mental. It funds a mental. Spiritual psychosis. Imbalance. Willing to use spirituality, spiritual knowledge spiritual rituals to masquerade malevolent intent. To create distortion, illusion, delusion, confusion, thus creating what? Imbalance, manifesting imbalance. Imagine yourself being a chalice. A chalice holding your sacral chakra energy, your water, your inner ocean. And imagine that chalice being slightly tilted, imbalanced, or the foundation, whatever the case may be. Imagine it being some type of imbalance where that chalice is tilted, meaning water is going to be flowing out, leaking out, right? Now imagine the person causing that imbalance holding their cup right underneath your tilted chalice, stealing your sacred waters, using your emotions to charge up or to grow some shit that they fucking planted. Awaiting results. Number 7. And you want to know the trick about this? The connection of it all? The first numbers that came out was 1, 2, and 4. Add that together. If awaiting results equals 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. What else is breath associated with? Life. Life. Don't allow these people to consume your life, to feed off of you. Awaiting results. 7. Something was just recently done with this full moon. In relation to what we're talking about. And there's some energies here expecting some type of growth, some type of abundance, some type of expansive outcome. Whether that be malevolently or benevolently. So we got trust, number 0. People wanting you to trust their control. Number 8. Trust their mind control. And then on the flip side, the benevolent side, trust your self-control. Trust your self-discipline. Trust that God is in control of your life. Trust that you are in control. And not these energies trying to control you or your life. Trust is a spiritual action. Number 9, darkest fears. There's people trusting that they can control you by utilizing your darkest fears against you. And if you're inhabiting, if you're hosting, if you're serving as the temporal host to fear of any nature, didn't God say he did not give you the spirit of fear? So then what are you housing? Or what's trying to invade your temple, your church? What's attempting to break in? Spiritual psychosis. Return to sender. Return to the host. Return to the father of these entities. The mother of these entities. These legions. These curses. These hexes. These demonic malevolent spells. You're going to watch people losing their fucking minds. You're going to witness people losing their fucking minds. You're going to witness people be delusional. Confused. Being controlled by their darkest fears. Don't share it with them. Don't partake. Recognize it. Pay attention to the details. Listen. And move accordingly. And what did number 9 say? It said things are moving fast and hot. People are taking risks and choices quickly. Impulsivity. Impulses. A time of travel. Truth. things are moving fast and hot right now, or they will be soon. Topics of travel, risk, learning, and truth. Learning the truth about who these people really are amongst you through their spiritual psychosis. Through history repeating itself through these so-called quote-unquote battles, you'll see people expose who they are, where they are, the condition of their souls during this time. We got simply love in the reverse. Conditional love. People who love upon condition. People who love conditionally. Considering what the conditions are. Unhealed people. People that's trying to influence others to be literally in the adverse energy of the Most High. It's one thing to have boundaries and to know when to heed the voice of God and be able to recognize ways of escape. But it's another thing to love or be in this energy of conditional love. Energies, tactics, strategies, methods of control, inverting your spirit of unconditional love, stunting your healing, or trying to take you off the path of healing work. Constantly putting you in an energy, projecting, cursing, hexing, spell casting. So that you can constantly have to have something to heal from. Strengthening bonds in the reverse. And let me make sure I say these numbers. So simply love is number 6. But it's in the reverse, so it's number 9. Healing begins is number 6. But it's in the reverse, so it's number 9. So let's see what that means. "99 symbolizes change and personal development. Often appears when you're going through a transformative phase in your life, like turning a new page in your story. Suggests that you're on the verge of a significant decision or change in your life. I heard incision. An incision is a surgical cut made in skin or flesh. A mark or decoration cut into a surface. The action or process of cutting into something. And what does 6-6 represent? It conveys unconditional love and harmony in relationships, signaling that your love life might be heading towards a period of growth, deep connection, and mutual understanding. Encourages you to pour love, care, and nurturing into your romantic life. So these two cards are supposed to be in the upright. It's supposed to be 66. They're supposed to be about unconditional love and harmony in your relationships. But it's in the reverse. There's a lot of readers not talking about what they should be talking about. Mm. It's one thing to bring things to people's awareness. It's another thing to create discord. It's another thing to stunt people's growth by keeping them tied to energies that have come to a close. Energies that were very clear was of a demonic source. I'm going to say it because I heard it. But God is not going to put you with somebody who abused you. God is not going to bring back together a connection with somebody who abused you. And I mean intentionally abused you. Physically, sexually. Sexual abuse can also present itself as betraying your confidences, betraying your trust, and being sexual elsewhere, outside of their connection with you. God is not going to bring you back with someone like that, who is deceptive, who hid these things, who was willing to play mind games. A match made in heaven is not in deception. It is in truth. It is in compassion. It is in proper communication. And a willingness to understand. It is an integrity. It is sober-minded. It is an authenticity. Nourishment. Nurturing. Empowering. Motivating. Inspiring. Patience. Loving kindness. Fairness. Balance. And then we have moving on in the reverse. Number 8. Followed by the root chakra. And I'm not sure if I said this, but before moving on in the root chakra, it was strengthening bonds in the reverse, which is a number 1. So trying to also weaken your bond with your number 1, your first relationship, before you even enter this lifetime with the divine. That is the goal, to sever your connection from source, to weaken your bond with God, with divinity. So again, we got moving on in the reverse and root chakra. Number 8 is related to themes of abundance, success, balance, and achievement. Prosperity. Wealth. Self-confidence. Financial abundance, financial freedom. Progress. Material gain. Work. Labor. Spiritual growth. Harmony. The ability to continue planting seeds. Whether in your work, your purpose, your career, your relationship, your finances. Tending your crop. Authenticity and integrity. Communicating openly with your partner. This came out in the reverse, though. Why is the number 8 in the reverse? Spiritual enlightenment. The potential to achieve success in spiritual enlightenment. Having power. Encouraging optimism. Trusting in your intuition for personal growth. Harnessing your power through meditation. Journaling. Being aware of signs to experience abundance and manifest dreams. A life filled with inner peace, an unwavering sense of purpose, and material wealth. Positive energy that guides us to manifest our dreams and desires into the physical realm. By following the right path and staying attuned to the universal energies, you'll find yourself experiencing an incredible transformation in every aspect of your life. Whether it's your love life, career, financial situation. It encourages you to embrace your inner wisdom and view life's challenges from a different perspective. Number 8 is a symbol of infinity, spiritual perfection, and completeness. Intelligence, resilience, the ability to fulfill spiritual objectives. Unexpected financial gain, strength, and authority. Building solid relationships through authenticity and integrity with your partner, potential partner, friendships, connections. Showing up as your best self. Not deceiving anyone to think you're something you're not. And building a solid foundation for the relationship and creating lasting bonds. Having guardian angels support you and them as you navigate the ups and downs of life together. Encouraging you to have faith in your inner wisdom and intuition when facing difficulties in your relationships. Focusing on the positive aspects of your partnership and working together to overcome challenges. You'll be able to cultivate a strong, fulfilling, and resilient bond. Hopefulness. Guidance. Feeling confident as you step out of your comfort zone and meeting new people. Giving you strength to act in alignment with your best self instead of portraying yourself as someone you think others may find attractive. Putting you in the frequency of attracting a partner who is ready to treat you as an equal, where both of you put in the same amount of effort to make the relationship work. Now this came out in a reverse. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you that these people are trying to do? "1018 represents a path to some kind of tangible prosperity. More often than not, it will refer to monetary reward." And what's the final card? The root chakra. So there's this energy of a swap, a transfer, right? A transfer. So you have delusional people in environments taking on leadership roles in environments where there's real, genuine divine people hoping to swap their instability, their imbalances, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, with those who are balanced, to swap energies, to swap destinies, to swap places, swap rewards, so to speak, a trade. That manifest card in this deck is also the Magician. So be mindful of energies attempting to bewitch you, trying to curse you, trying to hex you, trying to spell cast, and they're trying to make it stick. They're trying to get you to latch on to the bait. They want you to become dry and cold from life's hardships or the hardships that they're sending towards you, so that these things can stick. When things are cold and icy, you know how your tongue can stick to an ice pole? They're trying to get these things to stick, to latch, or get you to latch on, even if it's latching on to their energy, so that they can do that transfer, right? But that's all I have for now. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.